Welcome back, guys. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Team Star Challenge, and as you guys know, this is a single battle formatted competition where we use only Team Star Pokemon, and including Revavroom on every battle. So, our opponent here today is going to lead off with a Daschbun, and we've got ourselves an Annihilape. First off, I'm thinking to myself, well, this is a little fairy puppy, and he is going to rip right through my big fighting ape. So I'm thinking to myself, well, should I really swap out my Annihilape at this time, or should I just go for the terrestrialization to water? So what I'm going to do here, we're going to go right in for the terrestrialization, and the reason why we're going to do that is because I want to be able to try to resist any kind of fairy-based moves that may be coming my way. But also as well, at the same time, I want to be able to try to get some damage off onto this thing, because I know if I don't, it's just going to rip right through the team. Now, they're going to end up going in for the substitute here, and that is going to basically take all of the hits from here on out until I've destroyed that substitute. And I'm not really sure if at this point this thing is baton pass or not, but it is definitely something to consider. So this thing has actually got the Mirror Herb, which means it's also going to raise its defense and its attack stat at the same time as my Annihilape, and that leads me to believe that this thing is going to be destroying this entire team. Now, it's going to end up going to go in for the Yawn here, and Yawn, of course, is going to be able to put my Annihilape to sleep the next turn if I decide to attack. However, if I don't attack and I swap out, that Yawn disappears. Now, I've ended up going in for the Rage Fist here. That's not really going to do much anyways to that substitute. Pretty much at this point, I need to get a little bit of damage off onto it to try to be able to knock it out. However, if you take a look at what it's doing, it's basically working the same as it would as if it was a baton passer. It's got the substitute, it's got the Yawn, it's got the agility. We know that right now something is going to be coming in, it's going to get all of these stats changes, and it's going to be a problem. So we've ended up breaking up the substitute here with the Daschbun, and honestly, I am now asleep. Now, was this really the smartest play? Probably not, considering that now we're open for an attack. Now, will it have baton pass? Now, I could go to Cerebi right now and try to look it up as we're actually doing this commentary, but it's only going to take a second for it to pop up anyway. So I'm going to be surprised just like you are, because I don't remember this battle at all. So it's going to end up going to go in for the substitute here there once again, and it's going to be able to protect itself from any kind of hits that may be coming its way. Obviously, with Annihilape being asleep, I can't really do much. So we're going to try to lock in here for the Rage Fist again in hopes that we'll be able to get a little bit of damage off onto that substitute if we do eventually wake up. And there it is, folks. There is the baton pass. So we know right now that this thing has substitute, it has Yawn, it has agility, and baton pass. So whatever's going to come in is going to hit hard. Now, we basically have to get out 2 Pokemon, and then Daschbun isn't going to be a problem. There's no attack to that thing. But he's all bark, but no bite. Funny. But Annihilape is on the opposing side, and it is now behind a substitute. As I see Annihilape coming in here, I'm now recalling this battle a little bit more. This is one of the battles that actually kind of stood out a little bit more to me. Once the Annihilape came in behind that substitute, it's a big problem. I honestly do not remember if I managed to actually get this thing taken out or not. I think this thing ended up just ripping right through my entire team, to be quite honest. But we are going to lock in for that Rage Fist here and try to get a little bit of damage off to that substitute. Luckily for us, because of the type advantage in regards to the Rage Fist being super effective, we were able to destroy that substitute. Now, will I be able to actually outspeed in this situation? Absolutely not. That Annihilape is going to go in for the bulk up, and that's going to raise the defense as well as the attack. Now, we are going to get a Rage Fist off here, and we were very, very close in actually taking that Annihilape out. However, one thing we have to take into consideration is that thing probably has Drain Punch. And if it has Drain Punch, it's going to regain all of the health that it just lost and get it back. Now, the interesting thing here is that it actually has Rest. Now, I'm assuming that this thing is probably a Chesto Resto. And that's exactly what's happening here. It's basically going to wake up from that Chesto Berry. Okay, so we are going to try to do a little bit of damage off onto it there. We didn't really get much done with it. Pretty much at this point, that bulk up and those defensive boosts are definitely going to rip right through us here. We can't really do much to this thing. Unless we get like a crazy critical hit, this Annihilape is going to be a huge problem. Okay, we're going to see a terrestrialization here with the Annihilape. And it is also going to go with Tera Water. So right now, I can actually be able to hit this thing with a Drain Punch, but I can also hit it with my Rage Fist as well. Now, I'm not really too concerned about trying to do any bulk up here at this point, because the whole purpose of this battle now is to try to get this Annihilape out. If I can't get Annihilape out, we are in for a big issue, big pickle. We're in a pickle, guys. Okay, there it is with the bulk up. Again, raising its defensive values as well as its attack stat. And again, we're going to go in for that Rage Fist. Now, as you can see, a little bit of chip damage, not a lot going on. If I had actually gone in and tried to do the bulk up right away, that might have been a little bit more helpful. However, we would have been yawned and put to sleep. Same type of situation as last time. Realistically, what I probably should have done is let off with a different Pokemon, forcing its hand to switch out. But this is a very interesting strategy right here. So anyways, he ends up going for the Rage Fist. Doesn't matter how many times he's been hit. He's got so much attack boost right now and defensive boost and all that stuff. He is just ripping. So the next Pokemon that's going to come in here, obviously I'm debating between Revavroom and Krookodile. I'm kind of hoping that Krookodile is going to be able to outspeed that Annihilape. However, I don't know if that's going to be enough to be able to do any major damage. So much bulk. So much bulk. Here's the Rage Fist, of course. It is going into a Dark-type Pokemon. As you can see, it is a one-hit knockout. Really not much that I can do there in that situation, I'm afraid. Even with the type advantage, I'm at a loss. So the last Pokemon to come into the battle is going to be the Revavroom. Revavroom, of course, is a Steel and Poison-type Pokemon. It is floating on the air balloon. However, there's really not much that I can do here because, as you know, Annihilape is going to be faster. So we know that a Drain Punch is going to be coming our way. Oh, actually, it's a Rage Fist. Interesting. Okay, so Rage Fist actually comes our way, knocks us out. That is the battle, and that is the game. So unfortunately, battle number 36 is a bit of a flop.